Yay, it's over now. Okay, well, while we're waiting on people to join, I'm going to do my obligatory on-screen announcements. Don't forget to go to coopedup.com and you can sign up for my email updates. Just a little pop-up will pop up and you can put your email address in there and we can stay in touch that way. And then if you're on Instagram, make sure you follow me on the gram too. Alrighty? Yeah. So I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. I hope it was great. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Um, I hope you all had a great weekend. The weather could not have been better here in Dallas, at least. It was so beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful. But the allergies kept us inside, unfortunately. Both Todd and I were just like raging headaches and sniffling and all of that kind of stuff. Clarendon was doing its best, but I ended up taking a nap on Saturday, which I've told y'all before. I am a horrible napper. I don't enjoy napping, but that's what I did. So it was kind of relaxing. Caught up on The Masked Singer. Actually, I don't know if I caught up. I didn't realize it. So The Masked Singer is one of my guilty pleasures. And I find that show fascinating from the standpoint of the costumes are gorgeous. The the artists, the people that they get are like big. Well, it's either a veritable who's who of celebritydom or who's that of celebritydom. But it is good. And then the clue packages they're so ingenious on that show. And I love Nick Cannon. Oh, if I could have Nick Cannon's baby, I would. He is, call me Mariah Carey. I think he is so sweet and funny. Probably a little crazy. I think I've read things that he's a little crazy, but I love him so much. So, and then also, she is straight up crazy, but Jenny McCarthy is one of the judges on that. She's actually fantastic on this show. And Kim Jong, the comedian, he is fantastic. And Nicole Scherzinger so she's really smart. I think she's actually a lot smarter than people give her credit for. But then there's Robin Thicke. He is such a, I don't even know why he's there. He must pay for the show or something, because he contributes literally nothing to that show. Anyway, Matt is saying, don't even get me started on dust. Just started our kitchen remodel today. That's exciting. I'm excited for you on that. I cannot wait to see the updates on that. Remodeling is one of those weird things. At first, you're like, they tear everything out, and you're like, holy shit, this is going to be done in 15 minutes because it just is so dramatic. And then they make a bunch of progress, and then it just freezes, and there is nothing going on. And then again, it speeds up real fast, and then you got to wait for your cabinets to come in or something like that. So bless you. We've been through, I don't know how many remodels at this point. This house is a constant work in progress. We are, at this point, not in construction on something, and I think that's one of the first points that we've had in 12 years of living in this house. Instead, we're fighting over a bush in the fucking front yard. So back to Masked Singer. Robin is a skeeve. Yeah, he's like, I do not understand what he contributes to that show at all. Like, I just do not understand his role in that show. Did I say Kim Jong? I meant Ken Jong, sorry. I guess that's a different person. Whatever. Speaking of potentially racist things, I guess confusing them. So someone, I own this other company called He Said Magazine. He Said Mag.com is the thing. So today's story, we actually wrote about grape nuts. I asked the writer to write about them because they're so good, and that's the first class nuts. That's one. Well, the cover photo for it was a stock image. We use a lot of stock image of a Hispanic guy holding a thing of nuts going like this, right? And just like a silly photo. We got it from like Shutterstock, I think, is the stock image place that we use, or whatever. Well, someone wrote into us, and they were like, "Do you know that your photo is promoting QAnon and white supremacy?" And I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, first of all, it's just an okay symbol. I mean, I realize that that symbol used in certain ways means something, right? But literally, if you were saying okay, it's okay, right? And furthermore, it was a non-white person doing it. So I would they were like, so are you, they emailed and they were like, either you're an idiot or you're a closet white supremacist. And I'm like, I don't think that if we were a closet white supremacist, that we would be using photos of non-white people on our website. And certainly a non-white person would not be throwing the QAnon or whatever the white supremacy, he said QAnon and white supremacy like they were interchangeable. Are they? I don't think they are. I think one is just straight up wacky pants, cuckoo bird, conspiracy theories, and the other one is just straight up white supremacy. But I was like, yeah, great nuts, Mom. Greatnuts.com. That is the place that I get our mixed nuts from. They are the supplier to American Airlines. So good. The first class mixes of them. And it's like $25 for like 3 pounds of nuts. Really, really good stuff. Anyway, so I was like, no. And then I'm like, God, are all people this stupid? Like, are all, like, I've just had to laugh about it. I was talking to my head writer, Steven. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, really, someone really think, based on all the shit that we say on this website, that this is the stance we want. We're going to talk about white supremacy. That's the stance we won't take right now. Yeah, okay. Just crazy. By the way, I'm reading this book. And so far, none of what I've told you has been on my list of things I was going to talk about, by the way. I'm reading this book called Caste: The Origins of Our Discontents. It's the current Oprah Book Club pick. And it's a very heavy book. It's all about systemic racism and all of this kind of stuff. I'm about 25% through it. I have learned so much fucked up shit about how white people have treated non-white people in America over the years. Like, just like crazy, the stuff that I'm learning about. And just like through generations of people and how different laws are set up for different things. And it's just crazy the stuff they're reading. Very good book though. So if you're wanting to learn about race relations and why things can't just be like, well, you're free now. This book it's like an absolute like must read. It's called Caste, Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents. And caste refers to, there are 3 major caste systems in human society that have existed. One is the main one that we all know about is the Indian caste system of like the Brahmins and the Untouchables, and there's a couple of other in-betweens. The Nazi Germany had a caste system. And this author of this book says that America has a caste system, and it has since the invention of America, and that we invented the phrase black and white. That did not exist before that, according to this author. Very good. It starts off really political, like super political about modern day stuff, but that's just like in the foreword. But once you get through that, it's not like these people suck and these people are great. It's kind of, at least as far as I've gotten into it, just like, this is what happened and this is how people dealt with it. This is what happened and this is how people. It was really, really a good book. Heavy stuff though. Let's see, what else are y'all saying here? Koopa likes his and others nuts. Not recently. Well, maybe mine. Oh, let me tell you, to be in a relationship for 22 years, married for like 6 of those, and have 2 children, I'd say I'm okay. I'm doing fine. So what else happened this weekend? Anything going on? Anything at all? Maybe like one of the most high-profile employers in America having a little COVID problem. So Kaylee McEnany, is that her last name? Kaylee, Kayleigh. Everything about. First of all, Kaylee is not a word. It's not a real name. And then to have it start it with the K and then end it with a Leigh, Leigh. That is just everything that is wrong with America right now. Kaylee McEnany, the spokesperson, press corps. No, not press corps. What's her director of communications? I actually don't know her job title for the White House. Is confirmed today that she has COVID-19, right? And then 2 of her deputy staffers have also said that they have COVID-19. And then all of these people are coming forward saying, Oh, yeah, I've tested positive, which leads me to believe that that event, that Rose Garden event that they were talking about, that was not the super spreader event that every press secretary, that's what she is. That was not, I mean, it goes far beyond that. It goes to the point where literally this is an employer who is not protecting its staff and is making these people meet with each other, or maybe, I mean, maybe making, they're probably willingly doing it also because they're sharing similar mindsets on this sort of thing. But oh my goodness, like they're just all up in meetings and stuff. And here's my thing. If they were all in a pod and they were observing the pod, then fine. That's fine, right? Here's the problem with pods. They're only as good as the people's discipline, every single person's discipline, the weakest person's discipline at that, within the pod. As soon as you puncture the pod, you've polluted the whole pool, right? So that's the issue. And that's why when I have friends who are like, oh, we're safe, we only go out to dinner in groups of 5 or less. I'm like, yeah, 5 tonight, and then 5 last night, and then 5 the night before that. You know what? And each of those people were doing 5 tonight, 5 the night before. At some point, you're breathing the same air as what's the magnitude of that? Like 250, 1,000? I don't know the math on that. But so either they're really shitty at doing a pod, or they just don't care, or they're just all being willy nilly about stuff, and then they're all coming down. Chris Christie's got it, and I mean, I am no great fan of Chris Christie, but if you're gonna have a high risk situation, I think Chris Christie is like the dictionary definition of high risk situation for COVID, right? And Kaylee will probably be fine. She's young, rich, white, all of the things that make you survive anything, right? And then we got Driving Miss Crazy, who's I think getting out of the hospital today, and forced all of his people to drive him around in like a little mini parade to wave at all of his fans. And by the way, the not Air Force One, what's it called? The Beast, the car that he drives in. Not only is it bulletproof, but supposedly it is like hermetically sealed so that in case of chemical warfare, it does not use outside air. It uses all of its own like it carries its air with it and uses its all. It's like a submarine or something, right? Um, and so everyone that was in there, all the Secret Service agents and everything, are literally breathing the same air. I'm just like, this is a bad employer, man. Like, I don't know. Driving Miss Crazy. I saw that today. That made me laugh. I don't mean to be all political. I'm trying not to be political on this because I think we need a free space from that. But I think it's okay to make fun of things that are, even if they're in the political realm, right? Right? I think so. Um, he will infect all the GOP people at the White House. I don't know if he will, but I mean, it's going around, obviously. It's going around. I mean, just it is hilarious, though. Not hilarious, but like it's interesting to how quickly all the dominoes are falling. Like it shows you the level of contagion of this. And I still think that we're not knowing everything that's going on. Like he's being let out supposedly today at 6:30, right? But then he wasn't on oxygen. But then now we're hearing that he's been on oxygen like twice. Again, this is newsish. Like there's stuff not, and also he's also a poster child for being pretty high risk. The age is up there, the body weight's up there. I don't know. I think he's on some other medications that like maybe affect things. I don't know. It is just so strange to me what's going on with that. And then to just go out and drive around and wave to everybody. Why can't you do an Avita balcony or something? I guess they couldn't set that up in time to be safe though, right? Um, what else? Oh, did you see this? Cracked me up. So if you've looked at the hashtag for Proud Boys, Proud Boys was that group of like white supremacists, and that the president would not disavow at. He told him to stand down and stand by at the debate, right? And so it's this group of Florida white supremacists, which, funny enough, is run by the head of like Latinos for Trump, also kind of odd to me. But the gays decided, we know how to take care of shit, y'all. So George Takei and a couple of other high profile gay mafia members let's take back that hashtag, right? Because they don't have a Twitter presence anymore. They got kicked off of Twitter. They're on some, was it like called Pandora, there's some other like mirror Twitter that's just for hateful people. And so they're on there still. But on Twitter and on other social media, they're like, let's take back that hashtag. Everyone put pictures of gay people kissing each other and just being alive and in gay situations and all that stuff. So hashtag Proud Boys has has gone from being this white supremacist shit to being like all like flaming gay. It is hilarious. I mean, it is so funny to see. And some of it's just simple kissing. Other is just like straight on like drag and boas and all kinds of fun. Like all of the elements of it are coming through. It is hilarious to me that it's so creative that they're doing that. Have y'all seen it? Have you seen some of it? George Takei, I think, is it Takei? Takei, I think it's Takei actually, rhymes with gay. Is leading it. We met him 8 years ago when we were the JCPenney dads. We were on the float of the New York City Pride Parade right behind them. And so we got to meet him. So funny, old as shit, lecherous as all get out, but hilarious and really nice. But he's become like the unlikely like gay icon of like the last 10 years. And he was in an internment camp. Like most people, a lot of people don't realize that we had internment camps during various wars for Germans and Japanese. There were some in America, in Texas, in California, other places, where we rounded up anyone we thought might possibly be a sympathizer with Germany or Japan, hence German or Japanese people, and made them live there. And he was in one for months, I guess. I don't know how long, but long enough that to be an outspoken person that it's wrong. But anyway, he's been like an unlikely hero in this. And then what else was I going to talk about? Oh, do y'all remember your dreams? So I have really fucked up dreams. I'll tell Todd about them and he's like, what is wrong with you? And I remember them vividly. Like I could recite to you half of my dreams and they make no sense whatsoever to me. Occasionally I can pick out little reasons why I remember them. But so last night I had a dream. They're never that great. So I had a dream that I'm just going to go through it with you and then we can maybe unpack what that means. Maybe any of y'all like socioanalyzing dreams, what's dream analyzation, whatever it's called. So I had a dream that my friend Neil Patel, who is artistic, kind of an art, like he does shoe art, he does like set design for stores, all that kind of stuff. I've known him forever. And so Neil Patel is my friend. So I had a dream last night that he was being honored by the Rothko family. Like they have the Rothko Chapel, or no, so in my dream, they were the Rothko family, but it was the family in Houston that has the Rothko Chapel. I just got that actually. It was this big affluent family that collects art. There's a Rothko Chapel where it's just this chapel that was built with all of this one guy's art, right? Rothko. So that this family that built the Rothko Chapel, in my dream, they were the Rothko family though, that they were honoring my friend Neil for his contributions to art, specifically because he's Indian also. Although his art is not Indian art, it's just in the dream, it was because it's like, hey, you're an Indian guy and you're doing great. Let's honor you, right? And so Neil, who by the way is not a close friend, I've known him forever, but I would not say, I show up at his stuff when he does it, but I would not say that he's my best friend. I would not say he's someone that I would call if I were in trouble or anything like that. But I'm there to support him and he supports me, right? The Manils, right? Or De Manils, that's the family. But in my dream, they were the Rothkos, but the De Manil family is who was doing it. And so we were down in Houston. So he was being honored, Neil was being honored, and he wanted me to be there very specifically. And so we arrive at the airport and they pick us up in like like the state fair has those trolleys that take you in the parking lot. They pick us up in one of those and we're going through Houston and we end up at the DMA randomly, which is the Dallas Museum of Art, but it was in Houston. In the underground parking lot, we go there and we go. And then somehow we come out of it on the other side and we're going, and I find out that Neil wants me there because he is so grateful to me because of I helped him discover the beauty, magnificence, and all of that of the city of Minneapolis, place I've never been before in my life, by the way. But for some reason, he wanted me to be recognized for helping him realize the greatness of the city of Minneapolis. And then also because I helped him realize the greatness of silk pajamas, also which I don't own. So those two things, he wanted to honor me at his award ceremony for turning him on to the city of Minneapolis and silk pajamas. Random, right? And the award that I got in exchange for that was I got a blue check mark on Twitter. So my Twitter profile got a blue check mark. He got me verified. I'm not on Twitter either. I mean, I technically am, but I use it for never. If I go on Twitter like more than once a month, it's to look up something that I saw was on Twitter, not to post or anything like that. So this is my dream. My friend, who's not a particularly close friend, wanted to honor me as part of him being honored for being an Indian artist because I turned him on to the city of Minneapolis in silk pajamas, and he in turn honored me with a blue check mark on Twitter. What the fuck does that mean? What did I eat? What did I drink? What was I looking at right beforehand? I don't know. But that was my dream last night. Isn't that crazy? And then I had another dream. This was years ago, but I remember this dream so vividly. It actually used to make me cry talking about this dream. So hopefully I don't have that reaction again. I had a dream that Todd and I were little yellow chickens, little yellow chicks, like little poofs chicks. And we were in love with each other. And we would go on these trips. And we had these little cameras that we were taking pictures of everything with. And then somehow we got captured and we got slaughtered. And years later, someone found our little cameras and had the film developed and saw all of these photos of our life together and put together like this book and like this museum thing and all of that of our little gay chicken asses traveling the world and stuff together. What the fuck? What is going what did that mean? I don't know. Isn't that like a crazy dream? Just the shit that these are the things I tell Todd, and I remember them they're so detailed, they're so vivid. Like I woke up from that little chicken dream crying actually, so I remember that specifically, and I cried telling someone about it like the next day. They're so vivid, they're so like specific, like super specific. Like, yeah, what the hell is in that wine you're drinking? I don't know. And that chicken dream was before I was a heavy drinker. That's the other weird thing. This heavy drinking is only like last 10 years or so. But yeah, weird, right? That would make a good children's book, my mom says. I'm hoping you're talking about the chicken story, not the Indian and silk pajamas and Minneapolis. Minneapolis. Like, why the fuck was I dreaming about Minneapolis? I've never been there before. Ever. Never even been close to it. I think South Dakota, when we were there this summer, was probably as close to Minneapolis as I've ever been, and maybe Chicago. I don't know. My Texas geography is for shit, so I don't know. I think that they're generally in the same place, right? So there was that. And then another interesting thing I saw today, or actually I saw it over the weekend. So at the SMU game, this goes back to some COVID stuff. At the SMU game this weekend, the SMU police had to go kick out the entire student section. The entire student section during a football game was cleared because the kids these days, have no respect. They weren't social distancing, and none of them were wearing, like literally I saw photos, literally none of them were wearing masks, and they were all on top of each other and partying and stuff because the student section at the new stadium is largely standing. I think it's like on the lawn, a portion of the lawn. I think there's a sitting place, and I think they let them go back and sit a little bit, like some of them, but a lot of them left. But they all got kicked out like crazy, and SMU is like kicking ass when it comes to handling this. They have a trailer park that they have built on campus of RVs. That I don't know if they bought them, leased them, or what, but there's a bunch of RVs on campus and like a trailer park where they're quarantining kids in those. They have dorms as well, but for overflow, they're actually quarantining them in these RVs for 14 days. Isn't that crazy? A trailer park at SMU. I want to drive by just so that I actually have eyes on that, so that I can see exactly what that looks like. Hmm. And then I was reading D Magazine's editor was sent out an email. He does a weekly email. Matt Goodman is his name. Was sent out an email just about various things. And the one he sent out, I think he does it on Sundays, was that Dallas is, our numbers are, well, actually, they're starting to creep up again, as they are everywhere. Like New York is starting to shut neighborhoods down, schools down again, because the numbers are creeping up because people aren't doing that. But uh, he was talking about in Dallas, though, people generally are wearing the mask, staying apart, all that kind of stuff. He said he went out to Grapevine and Denton, which are far out suburbs of Dallas. Denton, I wouldn't even call Denton a suburb. It's like a different town. I think they even have their own TV station out there. But he went out there and he was like, it was as if there was no mask mandate in place, period. Just no one wearing them at all. And that mirrors what Claire and I had to go up to Plano one time. And she was like, Daddy, do these people, like we had to go pick up something. She's like, Daddy, do these people know that something's going on? Because literally no one was wearing masks. Crazy. So let's see. SMU Police, D Magazine, Proud Boys, My Dream, The Pod, OK Sign, Driving Miss Crazy. That's all. That's all I had. Dave is like, you ought to park your RV out there, Coop. Yeah, lease it to SMU. No, it's not covered. And Sandy's like, what? Take a picture of the trailers at SMU. I have to see it to believe it. It was in the paper today, and it was really nice RVs. They were trailer ones, not Class A drivable ones like Bernadette is. But that was like, what is going on with that? So anyway, let's see if y'all have any questions before I sign off. Y'all been quiet today. Matt, when's your renovation going to be done? We all want to know. Let's see. Does anyone else watch The Masked Singer? Y'all act like I'm a weirdo on here. Everyone's like, ugh, double ugh. I assume that Leslie, you're saying ugh and double ugh when I was talking about, or ugh squared when I was talking about The Masked Singer. Well, that's all I got. Okay. With that, I'm going to say bye. I love you so much. You are loved. And I love that you watch this. This is my therapy. Thank you. This is my therapy too. Mm-hmm. Cheers to that. Wear a mask. Stay away from each other. Like I said, numbers are going back up. Texas was one of the few states where numbers were coming down a little bit, but they're starting to creep back up. And so just stay away from gatherings and places where people aren't wearing masks and all that kind of stuff. Supposedly the masks are still the number one way to fight all this. And with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of Cooped Up Live, should I say. Talk to you later.